Hi members of the Champaign County Association of Realtors. I'm Matt Difanis, your 2012 president, and I want to take a few minutes as my term ends to provide you with some important updates about your association. I have some exciting news to announce, and I also wanted to bring you up to speed on an upcoming dues increase. Let me first talk about the dues increase. Your upcoming bill, due January 1st, 2013, will reflect a $40 increase in local dues. I want to give you some historical context, explain why this is necessary now, and make sure you know what your volunteer leadership and association staff have done to be the best possible stewards of your dues dollars. First, a brief history. Local association dues have not increased since the 1995-96 budget year. Despite many changes in the industry and the association, we were able to keep dues unchanged for so long because of three primary factors. First, a 10-year period that saw membership numbers soar. Second, significant revenue from fees collected coming in from new members. And third, occasional increases in monthly participation fees, aka your MLS fees. This graph shows historic membership numbers for the last 22 years. Our association experienced a membership increase that peaked in 2007 at 571 members. As of 2012, our membership was down to an 8-year low of 446. That membership difference translates into a revenue decrease of more than $20,000 per year in dues from that peak. New member fees account for an even larger drop of revenue. Since 1995, new members have paid $984 in initial fees to our association. This has been a major source of revenue that is not directly linked to total membership count, since we have some years where we generate significant new member revenue while membership count remains steady. This graph shows the number of new members each year, going all the way back to 1994. Note that 2000 figures were not readily available. We did have new members that year. 2005 saw 95 new members, while 2009 saw a low of 29 new members for the year. And that situation has not improved much since then, with only 30 new members in 2012. That translates into about $64,000 less revenue from new members in 2012 as compared to 2005. The third major revenue source is monthly participation fees, better known as your monthly MLS fees. Looking all the way back to 1999, monthly participation fees were $55. During the last decade, this fee dropped for a few years to $50, mostly because our association was flush with revenue from huge new member fees and soaring membership totals. As the revenue situation deteriorated in the last few years, we've had two separate $5 increases that have been implemented, bringing today's monthly participation fee to $60. This is an amount only 9% higher than what members paid 13 years ago. By far the most common response from members to any news of an increase in dues is, well, can't you just spend less? Well, we can always spend less. The real issue is whether we can spend less while still accomplishing our association's core mission of providing top-notch service to our members. I want to assure you that we have reduced or held the line on expenses in every way we responsibly can, and the dues increase is still necessary to plug a hole in our budget. Politicians claim all the time that they're going to go line by line through the budget to make cuts. At your association, we actually do this. The Finance Committee, comprised of the President, President-elect, Secretary-Treasurer, and immediate past President, literally reviews the entire budget line by line, along with the association's Executive Vice President. We pore over the budget before it gets approved by the Board of Directors. This graph shows the last 8 fiscal years of expenses. There are a few things worth noting here. First, we're already spending less than we have in any year since 2006. Second, despite intense budgetary scrutiny during these last few years, many of our expenses simply do not shrink in proportion to our membership. This includes items like our building overhead, salaries, travel expenses, and a variety of other items. It is worth noting, though, that our staff did work for a string of years without raises, recognizing that our association's revenues were shrinking and that our members were seeing their own incomes dwindle. Set against a backdrop of budgetary austerity, the rest of the leadership team and I set a goal of making your association thrive, not merely survive, even while the market remained challenging for the members. Our association has the ability to help shape the industry in our local market, and we set out to implement new initiatives that would help maximize the association's ability to influence consumer confidence. I learned firsthand during my term as president that an aggressive campaign geared towards spreading the good news about our local market can make a meaningful difference for our members. Positive headlines and news stories help increase consumer confidence and deliver the important message that the time to buy is now. Increased market activity benefits us all. To help continue and build upon this PR push, I am delighted to announce that we've contracted with M. Schaefer Communications, a consulting firm specializing in media relations, communications, and public relations. The owner of this firm, Mary Schaefer, spent 23 years as the Director of Communications of the Illinois Association of Realtors. In addition to continuing to aggressively promote our industry to the local media, Mary will be zealously pursuing a member relations and public relations strategy that will make effective use of social media, YouTube, and our upcoming association website. Our base contract with M. Schaefer Communications will cost $21,000 a year, and we will probably end up spending a few $1,000s beyond the base amount as we pay for occasional services that are offered in addition to the services enumerated in the base contract. Now, before you pick up the phone to complain, let me explain how we are accomplishing this for less money than we were spending on personnel a year ago. Once Art retired, we were no longer paying the costs associated with that full-time position, which also included full benefits. The outsourced communications contract costs us about half what the previous staff position cost, and we have no long-term commitment or ancillary employee expenses or liabilities. The remainder of the unused personnel budget allocation is now paying for a part-time receptionist and data entry staffer who also has no benefits. In short, we got our essential in-house staffing needs covered with a shuffling of job descriptions and the addition of a new part-time position, and we're now outsourcing the communications to a more experienced, better credentialed specialist than we could have ever afforded to have on staff. I want to give special recognition to Linda Green, who helped make this unprecedented reallocation of resources happen while staying ever mindful of budgetary constraints. While several of our members who have been active with the Illinois Association of Realtors, myself included, know Mary Schaefer, it was Linda who had the epiphany to see that Mary might work into our plans and into our budget. I am thrilled that Linda's excellent networking connections helped to make this happen. I also want to recognize the rest of our association staff, all of whom worked diligently to get us through the challenges created by Art's unexpected departure. But when the dust settled on the changes at CCAR, it was Darcy's job that had been altered the most. Darcy, as it turns out, had all sorts of exciting capabilities that have now been unleashed. She now does Innovia administration and support, and she has demonstrated excellent technical aptitude for tackling a wide variety of tasks and challenges. Her job has become more demanding, yet she has stepped up to the challenge and is doing a fantastic job. Let me jump back to the dues increase for just a moment. Keep in mind that in addition to the $40 increase for local dues, you will also be seeing a $51 increase for state dues. Those are increasing from $99 to $150. National dues went up a year ago from $80 to $120, but are not changing this year. So the increase you're going to see on your total bill amount will be $91, even though your local association is increasing dues by only $40. By the time you see this, I will have presided over my last board meeting as your president, and I will have placed the gavel into Todd Salen's capable hands. Thank you so much for the opportunity to represent you and the rest of our association. It has been an exhausting year, but it has always been a great privilege and frequently great fun. I look forward to this last year of service on the board of directors, and I look forward to continued involvement in other capacities in the future. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, if you want more details about anything I've discussed in this video, or if you would like to discuss your own future involvement at the local, state, or national level of your Realtor trade organization. Thank you for watching. Now go sell something.